Kassadin today already pretty much take in complete in the early stages through Aatrox, through Lucian and Nami. Team fighting in the mid game once you hit that level 11 is going to be absolutely monstrous.
Sports, it's your match of the week for week number 2, and it's time to get hype. Weibo Gaming versus Top Esports in your Gala Classic.
And it's a series with so much brimming history. So much excitement for the series, as you would expect.
Indeed there is, and I think it is all due here, as I'm sure it'll be a little bit of a calm start. No, we didn't get any crazy level 1s or anything like that, but it is where the macro, the team fights, those kinds of things are going to be such next level. The players that we're finding in front of us. And we've talked already about all the reunions across the board. It's really interesting, but again, I want to specifically talk about some of these matchups and why they can be important in this game. The Shy versus Ching Tian. We've said Ching Tian can be and has been a little bit more of a stable piece for Top Esports to play around the rest of the map. Does the Shy kind of up the rest of the map?
Yep, strong LPL top laners, picking Gnar and kind of 1v9ing for their team has been pretty much the MO for every Gnar pick we've seen so far. Most of them coming out of bin, so let's see if the Shy can... That's the correct schedule in my mind, as Karsa is getting a little bit of early aggression.
But
down. He is going to be spotted though, so jungle matchup so important. And again, this is perfect information from Tien. So what's going to happen in the bottom side? Because you can see a wraparound and
scuffle here brewing between Tien and Karsa. Just seeing their names together on my screen, it looks like, oh, Karsa? Okay.
Karsa got it.
He got it, and now he's in a 1v2 with no help nearby. And hey, you come away with a dub there for Karsa.
Yeah, I mean, lost his flash, but he's up a camp, so Hex Flash, very, very powerful. Setting up ganks, alternative ganking routes as well, so I'm sure Karsa will feel okay with that, as Tien's level 3 is going to be heavily delayed, and not only that, you can see now there's perfect information. Even though he loses his flash, and it looks a little bit janky, slowing down Tien's early tempo, it's actually going to play out quite nicely and give them a little bit extra time to work with.
I think that being time of the essence ran away with games. But I think you have some safety if you're looking at that late game for Weibo. And that's where I want to see how, I guess, topsy-turvy this early part of the game is, where both teams are kind of saying, you know, let's feel this first game out, see how mechanically...
Just point and click E, even if you might not necessarily always stun him, the displacement can at least buy you the crucial seconds you need to get the extra damage. 15. Once he hits level 16, it's a different story. You have to be significantly more clinical. Knocking down a Kassadin, but Karsa continues his escapades into the jungle of Tien. I think he's just about going to get that. He will.
With these aggressive little forays into the jungle of Tien, and Tien's feeling the hurt there for sure as we do get a pause. Maybe we have a little bit of an issue going on with somebody, but it is so far at least Karsa in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, definitely has been. And again, just consistently slowing down Tien when and where he can. So pretty decent start so far for Weibo, and leveraging the fact that there's a Kassadin in the mid lane as well. You will draw it out long enough, and even Light on Yuumi was very much ready. Good start.
Hopefully so.
Hopefully so.
It's yeah, so far so good, I think, on both fronts. And again, looking back at the holistic approach in this one for both the squads, right? We're looking at Weibo. How does this top trio of carries and facilitators work in this, you know, pickup for at least Weibo in this one? I think it sets them up for success. We've already seen Karsa be very aggressive, and I think that was a big point coming into this one. How aggressive will the junglers look and be? And it does look like we actually do have some issues for the Shy. He's having some device problems, so I'm sure we'll get this solved as soon as possible. It's good to get this out of the way early.
Just to me, like either a mouse or a keyboard thing. So hopefully we can get that sorted in the desk. But of course, for the players, more importantly, take you out of it a little bit. Fortunately, right at the start, right? So which can always be quite frustrating. But yeah, we'll see where we go. But I think for Weibo, positive start so far. Getting to see Karsa, you know, confidently stride into Tien's jungle quite consistent for now. And obviously the timing of that bottom side invade meant that couldn't actually have Jackie Love and Mark come over, but it looks like we are
All right.
out of the ports.
Back into it. Back on a Summoner's Rift where we belong. And right back to Weibo game versus Top Esports Karsa. Well, and it's working out for Weibo. First blood going over is actually huge. Maybe a follow-up for Top Esports. Somewhat light here. Tien showing up just in the nick of time. As Rookie was actually roaming down as well. Will play second forward in the transition from mid lane. Going right back there. And Tien just trying to play a little bit defensively so far, it seems like, and get as much of his map as he can.
Good job. Xiaohu gets hit up a little bit, but don't feel like much more will come of it than that. As Tien wants a little bit of revenge in the damage department.
See the shot. He does have Flash. He does have Karsa right there. So luckily playing around these junglers has been very, very helpful for almost every member of the team so far. We will see Tien taking the Scuttle Crab here. Did miss the initial spawn, but you know what?
Nope, don't know what we're talking about. Didn't see it. Didn't see it. Nope.
Didn't happen. Didn't see it.
If I didn't see it, it didn't happen. That's how it usually works. Weibo though, so he's not in fog, which would definitely make this kind of scenario. So it's not like you're fighting over the pretty strong scaling resists of a mountain or, of course, an infernal amp. Try and assist some of his lanes a little more amply. As again, he's been stalled out quite heavily by Karsa.
He really has.
Level 8 is
level
when
6 now.
Yeah.
Shy just lost Meganar as well. Bubble connects on bottom lane onto Chris. Trying to get back into light there, but taking a lot of damage in the end. Healed right back. Top lane. So Cullen coming through and taking a lot of it. Split damage though. Nicely done from Weibo.
But yes, but it doesn't matter. But here is Xiaohu Karsa duo and Tien. Out of position technically, but I don't think he'll get pincered on, fortunately for himself. But what it does do is stop any kind of potential re-rotation back towards the mid lane for now. But what this is going to do is give Rookie a little bit of time. He's very patiently waiting here.
He really is. And rightfully so. I think not overextending yourself in a game where you're really just waiting for Rookie to do Rookie things on Kassadin. And I think you...
Answer on the side lane will grow rather difficult in the mid game. Once
how does that matchup work out late game?
It just seems more like a comfort thing. You know, Aatrox is always going to be bringing you that mid-game power, right? He's always going to bring you that punch in the mid-game where all it takes is one flank, 1 or 2 sweet spot Qs, and all of a sudden you change the scale.
After Flash, nice double root there, but can't follow up the damage because the culling is coming right back into the fold. Karsa will show his face, but can't really get anything done. Rookie was on his way as well, so if they overcommitted, it was going to be a response there. So nicely dissuaded from Top Esports, who find themselves at a small deficit. Rookie opting in, obviously, to the Roa, but not the same for Xiaohu. He'll be going in for the crown, which just got completed there.
Yeah, doesn't want to get, you know, violated into immediately blown up. Does offer you a lot less damage, of course, than going towards something like the Ludens, but I guess he just feels like Ludens isn't going to be giving him what he wants. I think he's more looking to play, again, into that utility style, Scatter the Weeks being, you know, the important part, and just adding damage to the pile on someone once they're right on top of him. So, of course, he'll be a little whiles away from that row up. Hopefully, for himself, he'll get that one stacking pretty soon. Of course, we had the discussion earlier about how strong Roa is as an item. We'll talk about it once it gets completed, of course. For now, though, a lot of eyes drawn towards the mid lane on both sides. But it seems like
they just
no
want to watch Xiaohu and Rookie play, which you know, I'm here for. Like, I'm down. I'm doing that right now. And it'll be a flash used by Rookie. A lot of utilization from Weibo in terms of their resources of that fight. But now Light's going over the wall. The lightning.
Oh my god, Weibo just rolled TSS over in that team fight right there. And it just starts with Tien going for the engage onto Xiaohu. They want the pick, but they just don't have the damage available to them just yet. Rookie doesn't have dashes very early, and it repositions Xiaohu to get him closer to Karsa and the rest of the team coming in. And as you can see,
the save,
it's just a good save, double knockup. And Xiaohu also has a stopwatch, I'd imagine from Runes. As I think that actually just ticks over, right? Because if I recall, the stopwatch actually enables itself at 12 minutes. So that's just really unlucky timing. As Karsa just finds a really nice angle. Yeah. It's just a very easy double kill pickup. And Weibo all of a sudden, running over it for now. Of course, you still have to take into consideration the scaling of a Kassadin. Kassadin alone can be enough to bring you back into a game. But right now, Weibo have full control. They're over 3,000 gold up, winning in the top side, winning in the bottom lane, and now they're also winning in the middle.
Yeah, and that's sub 14 minutes before play to be absolutely from Weibo Gaming. And I think next steps are crucial here. How do you utilize these resources that we've seen not necessarily given to the Shy, but now to these other two carries in the squad, and kind of pick apart Top Esports from top to bottom?
Yeah, and just as by default, but he got the takedown, and that brings it down to a 12. Got stuff for Xiaohu. A little bit unfortunate on the TAS side, but that can be League of Legends for you. And now they find themselves with a 3,000 gold lead. First move in the river.
He just gives his life.
Oh my god. It's just so damn close. Literally single digit HP, the difference between JackeyLove finding a kill, actually getting stuff started. A potential snowball of the play. Shy's going to take a tower on the top side. He's more than comfortable up there. Let's take a look at this again. Shield bow, so important. Already having that item is crucial. Caster blocks so much of the damage. And you can see just barrier the heal. Everything comes into effect. The bubble just barely sidestepped. And it's so close. It's 28 HP is what you now in the early stages. And it's where, you know, the strength of the composition kind of lies specifically from the jungle and from the bottom side. It's that skirmishing. They've knocked the map. And they'll pick themselves up the second dragon.
Man, all I'm saying, I know ALCS has the pound weight with one arm. It's actually incredible the little minute difference that Yuumi...
It is. And the champion is frustrating. It just provides so much extra scaling to compositions that sometimes you wouldn't even expect it to come out of. But in this case, you got Zeri giving Syndra all of the additional AP as well to remove someone. If you're sat on Xiaohu, is going to be pretty big. As a rookie make his exit from the bottom.
Quick question, Jabata. How good do you think that felt for Crisp taking down his previous world championship teammate in TN? Do you think that felt pretty good to kind of clutch it out? just no
he's
big
probably
deal,
smiling
right?
to himself internally. I mean, I will say sometimes players are pretty, ice in the veins about this stuff. You and my old teammate, yeah, don't care. We used to play together 3-4 years ago. That is in the past. But of course, there is always going to be that little bit of pride.
Yeah, it's just so cool. I just keep going back to it. Just all the reunions, all the verses of previous teammates in this matchup specifically, in the LPL as a whole right now. And I just think it's a reunited again. You've got, first of all, the Shy versus Rook. The lead, I think scaling, still a potential if Top Esports want to find a way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sure, there is, I don't know, they've always usually got the burst damage available to them, right? They're always going to be able to, dash to the side, but kind of in and bring Light or Xiaohu down to a pretty sensible amount of HP to a point where they can't really contest anything. Because, Karsa just being a nuisance with Crisp on his back. So, JackeyLove is always going to be able to offer something whole.
Yeah. The Shy got Rift Herald. I guess that's a positive for Weibo Gaming. They'll use it top side, as a lot of focus did come up this way, though. It looks like Weibo are opting into the bot side tower, so should be able to get this tier 2 tower for themselves.
Yeah, and the Shy is in a 2v1.
Is not what you want to see. Maybe trying to just buy time so they can take down an inhib tower down here. He flashes out. Beautiful stuff from the Shy in the picture. That's why they bring him in and keep him for Weibo Gaming into it.
Simple. Top Esports, besides the Dragon, practically been perfect game here so far. Need to find something. But the problem is, if they try, I feel like right now...
I think those item completions definitely important. We're at 7 stacks now for a rookie on the Roa, but the second item completions, looking at rapid fire secable, means that much more time bot if TES can grab it. But in the end, it should just be Weibo 20 seconds.
Yep. That should probably be going over to Weibo. Oh, rookies.
Hey, so our rookie wants it, and it's going to be Tien that gets the kill in the end. Power Unleashed doesn't kill Ching Tien as he's so low. Tidal Wave comes through, stops Karsa in his tracks, and Light is saved by Crisp. We're starting to get the drum up of chaos and the drum up of action here.
Wasn't able to kill him. It was the Shy that ends up 2v1ing them in the end. This time around, Rookie says, I'm bringing 3 members to the party.
There ain't no way he's walking away.
In the bottom lane, perhaps they were, but the teleport comes down. slow comes in, but unfortunately they just don't have the burst damage to kill him before Mega comes through. It's so close on the transformation, the knock away into the massive, into the casted into Rookie's back pocket. It doesn't quite, but still, gold is gold at this stage in the game. The Dragon goes over to Weibo whilst we was in the replay, but you can still see how much pressure Shy is putting down, and he's now only starting to buy resist. So
and they're split focus a little bit. Xiaohu gets engaged on, but then immediately saved by Karsa. Ting Tian goes in, heals so much, and the wham bam, thank you ma'am, is coming through, but Light, he's burning them down one by one, and there was no hope left for Top Esports. The ADC of Weibo Gaming makes sure that door is slammed shut.
There was too much split focus from Top Esports, and Light sees his opportunity to go forward and slaughters Top Esports in their jungle. And with no jungler available to Weibo, they're still going to go towards the right call, but JackeyLove is dumping his damage into Karsa. Keeper's Verdict does knock away the vibe, but down Light, the focus is on Karsa. And after that, Light just says, open, says me. It won't be the kind of lawnmower build we see, just raw damage. And now I actually don't have any idea what Top Esports can somehow give them some form of in a team fight. As it so often does, but almost 10,000.
And honestly, it's such big props due to Weibo for this one. Relentlessly picking out jungle lane as well, and so far so good for Weibo Gaming, unless things start to take a downturn, which is...
And it's not on a control ward, so they don't actually know it's there, but
Vault
you can see
Breaker
Weibo are
is
looking
gone.
for something.
They got the Keeper's Verdict back. Nice little flash there from Tien, but yeah, they're just getting picked apart. Like, Rookie hasn't even made it to the fight yet.
Oh,
and the Shy's already taken out Steven.
Right.
He's here now. Is this the moment? Is this week to Weibo Gaming?
Unlike earlier where we saw Care on the Kassadin absolutely tear apart his opponent, Rookie finally gets there, but they're just too far behind, and the Shy in the backline is decimating Top Esports. It's gonna be Weibo taking game number 1. And Top completely dismantled in this opening game of your match of the week. And Weibo looking strong, opening out their game 1 of 2023.
Man, we got everything, Jamada. It was just beautiful. The whole feast of Weibo Gaming. Xiaohu into classic early aggressive jungler Tien, the Shy side lane. Light and crisp. You can't say much more about them. They were dominant in the 2v2. They ended up winning these team fights.
Definitely, it was top to bottom. I just feel like from the jump, really, Karsa had his number on Tien, the bottom side with his Nami Lucian, but it just wasn't really anything that Top could deal with. It felt like because they had Rookie on Kassadin in the early stages, it's just so hard to actually get favorable skirmishes going. And Karsa was very tempered about his invades as a whole. There was no real punishment. He was gaining his own lead, and even though JackeyLove and Mark were so close to finding the turnaround in the bottom side, it just doesn't turn up for them, and unfortunately it just turns into a Weibo smacking where no...
And just the fact that the jungle matchup went the way it did, but it's a lot of the late game decision makings that looked really good, right? And I think, like, timing wise, that last effort from TES was actually really could have been really crucial in like prolonging the game to some extent, but the miscommunication or like mistiming was really rough. And that's something going into game 2 I don't expect to be a problem again for Top Esports, right? I don't expect the game to go so one-sided for a second time in a row, because we've already seen what Top Esports can do on carry champions, right? And I think we saw that late game opt-in from Top Esports. I want to see a little bit more skirmish heavy going into it, but all in all, like, look at this draft as a whole. The Shy, Light, Xiaohu, the members you needed to kind of show up and be the stabilization.
They're all perfectly. The Shy dominating 1v1. Yes, he had a lot of pressure up towards the top side to help him out as well, but he was still slowly garnering his own lead. And on the bottom side, Light and Crisp holding their own against the very tough Zeri Yuumi, but it just feels like this game of cat and mouse where, unfortunately, it seems to be the Zeri Yuumi turning up the positive end of the early stages for some reason, despite it not necessarily being the way the theory of the lane should go. So I think if you're going to play into that lane again on the bottom side, right, we're going to just kind of leave the top lane alone for now, because I feel like after this one game, it seems to me that the Shy is probably just going to do something very similar unless he's shut down again. To me, I feel like...
Do we see Wayward come in? Do we get the sub?
No, I don't think it happens. I don't think
stable
it happens.
is
if it
the
happens,
way to go.
It would be funny, but I just think for Top Esports, try and push JackeyLove and Mark over that edge.
Bridge building just is, I guess, into the second game. See if we get our full 6 games of the night. Our match of the week continues right after